Hey there, ladies. Hey there, everyone. How are you doing? Today, look at that. New external water pump for the pond because, as you see, the waterfall ain't running. I didn't upload the video yet, but I made a video. I took apart the other pump, the submersible, and man, that was fried. Completely fried. It was really bad. So the thing leaked. And the downside about a submersible is if it leaks, it's screwed. You know what I mean? Whereas this external here that we just got, this is a heavier duty guy. Look at that. Yeah, this guy's really gonna do a good job. This is a DC pump, but one cool thing is it's a more efficient actual motor in here. So this is a 3.5 amps, 3.5, and the other one was like 5.8, and then it's a max of 8 amps, but it comes preset at 45 psi, so it'll run 3.5 amps on 45 psi, and it might pop up to 8 just on startup. But one thing cool is this can run dry, and if it does happen to get too hot, it has a sensor in here that will shut the motor off. So we're gonna go ahead and hook this up. But because it's an external, I needed something that's gonna suck the water out of the sump. So you can see all the holes down in that bucket that I made. So what I did, see, right here, and we got that bucket here, and then in there, the bucket down there has holes. So this guy here is gonna go in here, boom, just like that, and the holes in there will make it so it's easy. Stuff will suck up into it, and then that screen right there will make sure that nothing too big gets in there and is able to go through. So we're gonna go ahead now and hook all this up. So all this other hose we're gonna have to get out of here. I didn't like how big it was for what we're doing. So yeah, we got to cycle the water through, but we want the waterfall to have some pressure, and we want it to look beautiful. And then also on the same fact, we want the pump to be able to run longer. Hey guys, you figuring everything out in there? You figuring everything out? Shane, go. Hey, Oya. Oh, yeah, Piper. Hey, Piper. How you doing, buddy? Piper's out of jail, so we're giving it a shot. He's on parole right now. Yeah, his temporary prison is still right over there, just in case. But so far, I myself haven't witnessed him being a jerk to anyone, so that's good. Shango seems to be doing all right. His head's coming around. He did have a couple dizzy spells afterwards. So one thing I found out is if the other pigeons like fly around his head a whole bunch, his head injury makes him all dizzy and shit. Yeah. And then these boys are trying to figure out who's Mr. right now. Yeah, aren't you? Trying to figure out that new pecking order and everything. That's just part of the process that we go through when we're dealing and raising animals. So this is going to be a simple setup. I'm just going to simply remove this hose, run it, the new PEX line, this stuff right here, this flex line, this stuff is good for the irrigation. There's 50 feet, so there's way more than what I require here, but this will be a nice, strong, thick line. Like, look at this. It's way thicker than the stuff you're used to for irrigation line. Like, look at that. That is the real deal there. This is the stuff that they use like on high-end jobs. So I wanted to get the good stuff. So we're gonna make it so the water comes out of here, flows, and goes over to the pump. We're gonna probably set the pump right up here under the battery just to make wiring and everything nice and easy. And then we'll just run the line right out through here, down along around the outside of the fence, and then right up there. So let me go ahead and get this process started by figuring out what steps I'm going to do in the order I'm going to do it. Alright, we got this figured out. So I'm going to use this piece to actually put over this piece and cut this piece down so we can get it to where this comes level with just the rib right here. And then we can flow our tubing easily across to our guy right here. So in order to do this, I gotta cut these ends off because I put them on so tight, there's just no way getting them off. And this guy here just is the perfect tool for the job. So just nice and sharp, just kind of cut it nice and gently so you don't go too quickly. I like to move slow with a knife and just let it do the cutting. Boom. That. Now we'll come over on this other side here. There, and we'll go ahead and cut this side too. We don't really need it quite as long. We just want to give ourselves a good section to connect both ends together. So we'll go like here. You're probably thinking, how's this exactly gonna work? Right? And I'm about to show you here. Oop, dropping rocks in. Let's see, you got it started. I like to twist a little bit and just move slow, let the knife cut it so you don't want to go into the edge of your knuckle or anything like that. Always keep your fingers away from the blade. And watch the camera so you don't drop it. Right? Okay, so we got that. Now we want to test our size. This is just a theory of mine. I haven't checked out this theory yet, but I think this hose will fit over the size here. And will it? See? It does. See? It fits on it just like that. So, what we're going to do here is go ahead and see, we measure to here. We want to go just a little bit below the surface so we know where to cut, because we're going to add another piece to it so we can connect our threads together. So we want to make sure, cut it low enough. We'll cut it like right here. We'll put the rubber in, and then we'll shorten the top piece to basically be flush with right here. So how we'll do that is just simply by cutting it. And we cut it. Got our little saw here. Knife's not going to work as good on that. So we want to have it just below the water line. So if we ever spring a leak, we know that at least the tube is going to be underneath the surface of the water. So the only thing that'll happen is maybe some particulates can make it in between wherever it's leaking. So we'll go ahead and mark our spot like that. Yep. And now that we have that down here like this, we know that right here is level, right? So we make a line there. And so now we know at this line, the distance to this line to this line is the depth of where we need the top, if that makes sense to you. So we'll use that to determine the overall length. So once we chop this guy off here, then we can lower it and get it to that height. Here, I'll show you a different way. Let's stop. Alright, let's just go ahead and cut this. Make it quick. You can see what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's harder to just say what you're trying to think as you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you want to do, you know what you're thinking, but it's just sometimes it's difficult to verbalize what exactly those thoughts are. And then I'm doing this, you know, literally while you're watching it. So these ideas are flowing in my head, and I'm like, okay, is this really what I want to do? Is this how I want to do this? And yeah, so you got that. Rub those out so you get the little burrs off. Just go like that. Rub the little burrs off. And you can see stone right here. Did you know stone is abrasive? Yeah, see that? That's abrasive. So you can just take the edge of this and just see, kind of round it on the stone. And round the edges a little bit. Sometimes it's good to just utilize what you got in front of you. Yeah. So you might be wondering, why am I rounding the edges? Well, I'm doing that so that way when it comes to actually sliding our chunk of hose on, so we can get our hose on a little bit easier if the corners are rounded like that. So we won't need much of this at all. We're only going to need to put it on about like to here. So since this edge is cleaner, straighter, and nicer, we're going to cut this to about here. Because all we require is enough to get over each side to put the hose clamps on. You see how stretched that is? Yeah, that's why I couldn't get it off. Didn't even try to get it off, it was so bad. So, okay. You slide where you want it, just like I showed. And slide where you want it and cut. This is kind of, you know, primitive engineering. So this is engineering on the go. You know, we kind of figure this out as we go along this. And that's how this project has been. It's just figuring it out along the way. And, you know, that's not always the most cost effective. But the thing is I want this to last. I want this to, you know, be a great system for whoever gets it. So if I can make it easy to replace things, and then if I use it for a while and see what is the good parts, what is the bad parts, like where's the strengths and where's the weaknesses in the system, where am I getting clogs, where is it, you know, how is it going smoothly. By using a system for a while, we can really see what's all going on. We can be the observers, and that, my friends, is the key, is to be the observer. Observe what is going on in your environment so you can adapt to it. Be the virus. That's right, be the virus. Observe and adapt. Observe and adapt. There we go. We got that side, and then, so this right here is simple. We can just take this, put it in the bottom, go like this, and get our measurement. So, that in the bottom, like that, and get, well, I guess we can't go quite as far down as we want, but we know at this level here, we got to go a little bit further than that. So we got that length here, and we go to about here. So if we cut this about right here, at this spot here, that should give us the level that we want. So you can go like this too. Put the end, actually I just thought about this, this is the easiest way. So take the end, your tip, put it down in there, right? Here we go. Okay, Stanley. Now we know where our top was. This is the bottom, right? So we want the bottom of that level with this, because we're gonna put this guy on and thread it on, and it's gonna come over like this. Boom. So how do we want that? We want that to be about like here, so it fits in like that. Now I can take this out, boom, go like that, and there's our magical line, my friends, our magical line. So we'll go ahead and cut on this line here. And this will give us our exact size now. Okay, so now that we have all this figured out and good to go, I'm gonna go ahead and start hooking the system together. So this is what's gonna happen here. We're gonna take our, we'll file our thing down again, around our edges to make it easier. Okay, so this right here is our connector. This will go in this end, boom, like that. Hose clamp. This will go in this end, and they'll actually meet up. I'll push them together until they meet up inside. Hose clamp on each side, and then this will go down. We'll put our fitting on, Then we'll run our line. So let me go ahead and put this together. How's it going there? Huh? You're just eagerly waiting me to finish, aren't you? Okay, I'm hurrying. So look, see, we got our height perfect. You see how that measurement worked? Tip it down. See, we got those all hooked up. I mean, just a little bit of the rubber hose right there. 2 hose clamps going over top. And with how tight that fit is, I highly doubt we even need the hose clamps. But who knows? Just in case, we put it in there. So we got that. That goes in there. And you see how that just goes over the corner? Now, what we'll go ahead and do is run our PEX. So, right here's our PEX line. We're going to cut a chunk of this off, and we're going to feed it from there, going over to here. And right here, you can see, here's our pump. We're going to go ahead, set the pump on here. I'll probably grab a piece of wood or something to mount it to make it a little bit more stable, or maybe it can come, we'll find out. We'll experiment, see how it sits, how it sounds, how it is. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead and just mount it up right here, or whatever's the best angle we can get it to set at and the most quietest. We'll go ahead and hook it up to the timer, so up here, and we'll have it controlled by all this stuff right here. So it's been just topped out at 13.4. It hasn't went above 13.4, so yeah, the battery is maxed out and charged up and happy and ready to go. So we'll go ahead and get this hooked up now. One thing cool is this guy here came with 2 end fittings. It's actually why I went with this PEX pipe, because it was or flex. It's the same size as this. So that way I know that the size of the water, the hose, the diameter is what it's rated for. So, and this will give me, yeah, we'll get enough cycles through here throughout a day to clean the pond. That's the biggest deal, you know, having enough to pump all the water from the pond through. So, and this stuff is going to build up with algae and different stuff over time. So, you know, eventually even the pumps will have to be cleaned or whatnot. But the way that the system is being built, it's so simple and easy that if your pump burns up, you can just replace it. You see how we had a submersible pump? It's built, submersible pump can go in there. So you don't even have to get the same kind of pump if you don't want. So, or you can just replace the external. That's one thing nice about making a system like this, is when you make things simple and you make them with replaceable parts, it's really easy. The one downfall about buying something that's proprietary, buying something that's pre-made, is the fact that if anything goes wrong, you got to get those parts to fix it. You got to know how it goes together. You got to be able to get in touch with the manufacturer or whatever it is to get what you want. Whereas when you build it yourself, modify it yourself, then you know how quick and easy it is to replace and fix. What are you doing? Piper, you've been doing pretty good today. You know that? You've been nice and calm. You're a good guy. You know, maybe sometimes jail straightens people out a little bit. I really hope you're not too depressed. I mean, it kind of sucks having to be humbled sometimes, but hey, you know, when our head gets too fat, sometimes it's up to society to humble us. You know, sometimes we need our friends to step in and be like, yeah, you're being a dick. Stop. Yeah. Say, I'm ready not to be a dick anymore. He's doing good. All right, let's get this hooked up and running. So I'll go ahead and show you how I wire this up. So I'm gonna go and hook all the irrigation stuff first, and then you'll see it. Ain't that right? You'll see it. Yeah, look at that. It's in there, looped around, hooked into here. Now though, excuse my hair in my eyes, I gotta figure out what's my length. How long does it take that hose to go from the top there where the water fall in, around the back, and hook into the other side? So in order to get that measurement easy enough, what I did was I went ahead and ran my line through here first. You can see how the old one ran underneath the cloth there, around, up under the rock and back, and spit over there. So I'm gonna go ahead, hook this up, put the rocks back, stack it, clean it, make it look like it's not even there. Then I'll know my length. I'll go ahead and feed the other side through there and cut it off. Yeah, it'll be easy enough. And there we go. It's like nothing even happened. Can't even see where the line is ran. Oh, one thing, like the mint. See the mint's popping up? Oh, it's doing so good. Look at that chocolate mint popping up. Yeah, it's gonna be nice minty ground cover, which will be perfect for smell. That's right, mint growing along water. Whenever that mint gets wet, it seems like it just radiates clouds of fragrance. Yeah, the smell just absolutely delicious. Everybody's doing good? Everybody's doing good? Okay, you're doing good? Perfect. Now we're on to the next part. So we figured it out. Now we have that all hooked up there, ran around. We have our tubing hanging out right there. So now we can go ahead and use the magical knife, cut it to length, and have it just come right into there. Ideally, I kind of like to throw a 90 there, drop it straight down to the ground, and bury it underneath. But that can be a modification for later. Let's go ahead and just hook that up, and then we'll go ahead and work on the wire. Now we got the provisions we require to complete this task. So now that that side's hooked up, I went ahead, like I showed you, rammed the pipe through. Yeah, I want to make it like, I want to put it at pretty much the same level that it's going to be at. I mean, is it a little bit of a tripping hazard like this? Yeah, but, you know, you're big boy adults, we'll be okay. This is the pump area, you know. It's okay if there's one thing around here that's a little bit of a hazard. Right? Right? Okay. Watch out for the black tube. Okay, so on this, we got our positive and negative here. So we got to run. We had all this shit set up. How did we have this fun, right? Right? We had to end up cutting it all down. So what we're going to do here is the positive has to go through the switch. And so the negative we can just hook up directly like it was before. And we're just going to run it all directly into the timer. That way we won't have, if the battery goes dead, you know, the controller won't stop it if it's not hooked into the light switch here. But it does guarantee that it will run for the time, and it will recharge because it's on a timer. So even if the battery goes lower, it will come back up. So, but it is maybe worthwhile to go ahead and go into the light just to see how it works, see if it works better, because maybe a lot of our issues was the pump. You know, the fact that that pump was leaking, that was probably causing more draw on the battery in the system than what it's supposed to, or what it's even rated at, because it burnt up. And so when you have, hey guys, when you have water get in there, that electricity running through the motor, it's going to go into that water, and it's going to draw even more amps than what it would just running solo without that. So we want to come from our controller, right? Come from the controller power here into the power here, and then we'll simply just have the negative here go into the negative on there, making it super simple and easy. So, or we can go this way, have the power hooked here, and this go into there like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do, just so the flow works easier. It's just right there. So we'll just go ahead, take this side here, clip it just like that, and we'll strip the ends off. Pop that off. Super simple. I can bend that a little bit, and then we got our screwdriver here. Where did our little screwdriver go? Oh, there it is. So, good news everyone. The house is officially on the MLS. Yep, that's right. It's on the MLS. So, it won't be long until this place is sold. So, we'll go ahead and back these guys out. So, this is going to the positive, right? So, we got our positive side like this. We'll go ahead and just push it into the positive and screw that down. Okay, and now we got this here, which we want to go into the negative side there. So we're gonna hook the other side of the positive so it flows through the switch to this guy right here. So we'll simply just strip this guy a little bit. Like that. Strip the wire off. Just like that. It's nice that they soldered the end. And then we can just simply take our heat shrink tubing, a chunk of this, and put that, that's a little big. I like to, it shrinks 3 times a third of its size. So I try to find the one that suits the best. Okay, that fits. Does this fit here? Yep, see that fits perfect. This one is nice and small. So what we'll do is we'll twist together. And then like I showed you before, we always bend back towards the small side. So if we go back towards the small side, we can fit it on there easier. Yeah, we might need a little bit smaller of a heat shrink for this one. Let's just untwist this real quick. Or a little bit bigger of a heat shrink now. Put that guy on there. Boom. Twist it together. I just like doing it this way. It's so fast and easy and simple. So you got that twist on there. And you simply put the hose over top. Position the crimp in the where you put it together in the center, the tube, and go ahead and take the lighter, heat shrink it, shrink that down, close it up. Don't run out of juice on me now. You're so close. Course, right when you want to do this. Alright, I can go top this off. You get the point. We'll go ahead and finish the other side and we'll turn it on. And there we go. So we got positive, negative hooked up here. You see we went ahead and heat shrink them both to here. The pump is here. The pump is self-priming, which is really awesome, and it will run dry. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the big moment. So how we'll do this again is control. So CR, you have to hit that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're after the timer. So then we'll hit manual. Maybe again. There we go. That kicks on. Right now, the pump should be kicking on. Okay. We got pump to here to here. Well, let me see if there's something in the instructions. Silly me. I gotta turn the switch on. You hear it going? Sucking? Ooh, that's pretty quiet. Are we about to get some water shooting through? Are we getting suction? Oh, we are getting suction. It's working. Just gotta adjust the flow. But hell to the motherfucking yeah, we are going. So that's flowing in there nicely. Sweet. We're getting a decent amount of pressure. Let's see how we can get this to flow. So it looks like it's wanting, yeah, excuse my mess. But that's part of building, is you make a mess and then you clean it up. And sometimes you clean up your mess, build stuff, and then clean up your mess again, and then build more stuff. Okay. And then clean up that mess. All right, you see how the water's kind of shooting out? Oop, you can really, water's shooting out sideways like this. We want it to go in a different position. So what we'll do is we'll move the hose this way, so we can get a better flow coming off that side. There we go. Sometimes this hose stuff is a little finicky in how it wants to be, but under heavy rock and well placed, you can get it good. There. Let's check this out. Well, definitely getting some flowing action there. That's great. Oh shoot, I have a nozzle to put in the tip of that will go ahead and reduce it down a little bit more. We might just want a little bit further reduction just to give a little bit more flow, but it is still kind of going off the side. It's just an adjustment. So let me go ahead and adjust this flow and get it really moving good. But solar powered pond is running and it's quieter. It's so much quieter. Oh, that's awesome. Well, we're definitely getting some pressure behind it now. Look at that. A little bit more than just a trickle waterfall. It's a shooting waterfall. Well, we can still do a little bit of adjustment there to spread that out a little bit more, but hey, at least we're getting the pressure now. I went ahead and actually put a little reducer in there. That's helping out a lot. So I think that pump, it's rated for 45 psi, so I think it actually wants like a little bit of back pressure. And now that it's getting it, it's happy. What do you think, ladies? You happy that your waterfall's running again? Yeah, off solar. It's not gonna run that long in this kind of light, but it definitely is gonna be running. So a bigger battery upgrade would definitely be better for that. Do 2 batteries, give it twice as much time. But now that we're running a more efficient pump, we're actually going to use a lot less electricity, which is going to be great. And it's going to give us a little bit more longer time with that. And once you ebb and flow the timer, you'll get it to where you'll run the right amount of hours for the amount of sunlight that you're getting. Yeah. So with that, hey, you like the hairdo? Got my like Hare Krishna thingy going on. With that, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe with the bell. And I'd like the notification of saying you like this too. I do like that. I like looking at my analytics and seeing the likes. I love seeing the comments and commenting back and talking to you guys. It's great creating a little community here and learning together as we go. So this right here, my friends, is a lot more robust system. Look at that. Black goji berries. Yeah, they're gonna have black goji berries. Yes, it's listed, it's for sale. Black goji berries growing next to black hawthorn. Yeah, that's amazing. So we got it set up. Pump is running, and that is a lot more efficient, my friends, because it's sucking it out, it's going through the pump. If there's any issues at all, it's just going to leak onto the ground. The water will never submerge that pump and burn it out. So not only are we getting a longer battery life, we're also getting more pressure to the pump. We're getting a better flow, which that added pressure is going to help move and skim the pond. We get that extra duration, but it's also a safer unit. And then I wouldn't, what if for some reason it really shorted out and like electrified the water? Like, if we had a lot of electricity and not just a battery, like if I had a regular submersible pump in there, hook into an outlet, what if that was like a 60 amp where you could really push some electricity in there? You know, that might tingle the girls a little bit, huh? Yeah, that wouldn't be cool. That wouldn't be cool at all. So having it external like that, you'll never have the issues. So I will see you in the next video. And again, thanks for joining me. Thanks for learning with me. And look at it. I'll leave you out with this cherry tree. Wow, look at those blooms. Isn't that gorgeous? It's gonna be full of cherries for whoever's living here next, my friend. Peace out till next time.